Alright guys, it's Tuesday, so that means it's time to talk about Raw. My favourite part of the week, as you can tell by the excitement in my voice. No, let's get to it. Welcome to the Punk Wrestling Podcast. I am Iron Punk, and today I am reviewing Raw. We'll get straight into it. There's plenty to unfold, which I'll talk about as we go through it. It kicks off with The Miz for Miz TV, with Drew as his guest. Notably, Miz is on his own. No Morrison, no Garza, just him. Keeps calling Drew Andy, which, is what it is. Says that Morrison's making a Bad Bunny diss track, which is why he's not here today. He explains why the odds are against Drew, Sheamus, the Elimination Chamber, not letting Drew get a word in. Eventually, Drew just says, "Shut the hell up. If you interrupt me one more time," Miz interrupts, of course, gets a Glasgow kiss for his trouble, and that's your segment. He also throws the briefcase across the arena, just for good measure. Why not? Yeah, it was an opening to Raw. Didn't fill me with excitement, didn't fill me with dread. It was just there. After he leaves, though, Miz talks a bit more. And he says that the pressure is getting to Drew, the cracks are beginning to show. How can you blame him? He has to go through 5 other former champions to get to WrestleMania, but you know how. Who doesn't have the pressure, and that is him, The Miz. And he cuts a bit of a decent promo here. He says he has the Money in the Bank contract. He doesn't really need the Elimination Chamber. And he takes himself out of the chamber match, saying, Edge said I wasn't playing high stakes poker. Well, how about this? And takes himself out of the chamber. And just because he says he's going to cash in doesn't mean he is going to cash in. No, it was decent stuff. He says when all said and done, he will be standing as the champion. Yeah, that was all right. So Miz is out of Money in the Bank. Out of Elimination Chamber, so we will have a replacement. Wonder who that could be. We find out later in the show. And it was a nice promo from Money in the Bank, sort of, put him back in the aura that it could happen, that Mr. Money in the Bank could cash in at any moment. He puts Universal Champion on notice as well. It could go for any title anytime, Alright. Hurt Business are out next for 6-man tag action. Sans Lashley versus the Lucha House Party and Riddle. Before the match, you get a segment with Riddle and Lucha Party talking about presidents, and he says his favourite is Harrison Ford. We're 20 minutes in, and I'm questioning my life choices. Yeah. Better, less said the better on that one. Hurt Business on, hot early on. There's a hot tag. Riddle clears house. MVP has bum leg. Everyone hits their big moves. Ripcord knee, floating bro onto MVP, gives them the win. After the match, Bobby Lashley takes all 3 out single-handedly, and he hurt lock on Riddle once again. I like Angry Lashley. I like where that's going. Happy with that. The match, nothing to write home about at all. Most of it was during the commercial break. It was a means to an end, I guess. But yeah, there wasn't any highlights in this match, hence the short breakdown. Not something I'll be seeking out to watch again. Miz is at backstage with Adam Pearce. Thanks him for giving the opportunity to be in the Elimination Chamber, but wants to give back. The chance should go to a young up-and-comer, and suggest Morrison. Pearce says he'll take it under advisement. I'd be like, fuck off. But there we go. That's me, not Adam Pearce. Get another backstage segment. Bad Bunny is talking with Mandy Rose. Mandy Rose repping the Bad Bunny shirt. She wishes him good luck on SNL on Saturday. As Rose is walking off, Bunny's taking a look. Be careful there, Bunny. Boy Otis ain't going to be happy about that one. But Priest saying how great it is to be on Raw, one of the biggest stars, making his debut, and he's alongside this great big star and everything. Meanwhile, in the background, Akira Tozawa pins R-Truth to become the 24/7 champion. He walks straight into Priest, who rams his head into the casings, the big boxes. And in Spanish, he's talking to Bad Bunny and basically says, pin him. So Bad Bunny pins Akira Tozawa to become the new 24/7 champ. Okay, yep. I'm glad Priest didn't pin him. And yeah, so they've already hyped it. So Bad Bunny's on an SNL. He is now going into SNL as the champion. Truth starts talking to them, shouts over to them to look after his baby DP. If you didn't watch Raw Talk last week, they started calling Damian Priest DP, and Charlie said how much she loves DP, which set the internet on fire. And they're continuing that later on as well. Next up, you've got Kofi and Xavier with Pierce. Basically, don't tell me you're considering Morrison. Kofi's the right choice. He's a former champion. Don't you understand? Don't you know that you weren't around when I was champion, but I was champion? Xavier says he doesn't know. He doesn't understand. He won't even give me my last match in my best of 5 series. Glad that's still continuing. Kofi says, well, I'm inserting myself into the chamber match. Miz comes out and is like, what you are talking about? Da, 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 da. Pierce eventually goes, right, okay, Miz versus Kofi. If Miz wins, Morrison's in the match. If Kofi wins, then Kofi's in the match. Kofi says he's going to run it back. Kofi Mania Part 2. Miz says that sequels suck, and they do bring up all the Marine sequels that he's been in, and he says they're gold. A bit more of New Day just mouthing off as they do. It was an entertaining segment. What can I say? It was nice. Woods and Kofi don't give a fuck and will say whatever they want, and that's enjoyable. Next up, we had a tag match, or we were supposed to anyway. Charlotte and Asuka versus Lacey and Peyton Royce. Lacey's on the mic early on. Thanks Charlotte for getting disqualified and giving her the title shot. She's been listening to Rick, and Rick thinks she's ready and she's going to come out on top on Sunday. She says that her and Pepe, as she's now known apparently, got you I forget what they're called in America, but we call them love hearts. And it says, bite me. And it says, should have got something for Asuka, because Asuka's going to give her a present on Sunday, which is that Raw Women's title. I was falling asleep here. No interest whatsoever. To the match, shall we? Asuka strutting her stuff against Peyton. Charlotte in. Lacey doesn't want to tag in. This is the story of the match. Lacey not getting in the match. Peyton gets a bit of offense in on Asuka to take control for a little bit, but there's a double down. Charlotte tags in. Lacey does not. Hanging Peyton out to dry here. They brawl a bit outside the ring. Peyton rolls back into the ring, runs, makes a tag when Lacey's not looking. So Lacey should come up against Charlotte. Lacey refuses to get in, drops down, gets on the mic, and basically says, "You're not touching me. I'm pregnant." And Rick's like, really? And then wooing, strutting, call me daddy, call me daddy. Yes, he said that. Charlotte's looking confused. And that was the end of the segment. So, a couple of things to digest here. One is, apparently, according to a few news sources, Lacey is actually pregnant. Because in my notes I put, this is bullshit. But who will Asuka be challenging on Sunday? But apparently she is actually pregnant. But they are using it for storyline as well. Because why not? They're in this weird angle anyway. Why not make it weirder? So who would you like to see Asuka face on Sunday? Will it be Flair? Will it be a surprise entrant? Will they last minute do a chamber match for the women? Because there isn't a women's chamber match. Let me know what you think. I would say probably Charlotte at this point. take the title off Asuka at the moment. She needs a bit of a repackage, needs to be built up again. And I would then insert Rhea. As I keep saying, where is Rhea? Rhea should come back and then challenge Charlotte for the title of WrestleMania and win. That's my opinion. But, let me know what you think. Small interview with Sheamus. Going to win the gauntlet, win the chamber, blah, blah, blah. Should have been one-on-one. Yep, seen it, heard it. Kofi versus Miz. They go for finisher straight off the bat. No luck there. Bit of cat and mouse action with Miz running away from Kofi. There's a nice second rope springboard spinner dropkick, I want to call it, from the corner. So Kofi runs into the corner and springboards back, but spins as he's doing the dropkick, which was nice. But Miz takes advantage to the break. Kofi hits head on the post. Miz hits a big boot. Kofi hits a stomp to the chest, sort of cave-in style, but with just one foot, which was nice. Boom drop, but Trouble in Paradise countered. SOS gets 2. Miz takes out the leg and figure 4. So the leg's hurting. That will be key later on. But the figure 4 gets rope break. Skull crashing finale is countered. Trouble in Paradise for 1, 2, 3. Kofi goes through to the next, goes into the Elimination Chamber match and into the Gauntlet match, which is the main event of the evening. So there we go. The right man won. I didn't want Morrison in the chamber. Kofi's not going to win the chamber match, but, I'm happy to be in there. He is a former world champion and more recent than 4 of the people that were in the match. So, yeah, fine. We get a bit of a recap of the My Whole segment. Lana and Naomi do an interview. Lana just wants to be her best. If she wins, it's the cherry on top. And then you get a whole lot of hole puns. What do you expect? We get another promo. This is all I'm saying. Promo, segment, little match, promo, segment, promo. Randy Orton promo, we'll do whatever it takes, etc. Fiend no more. My sights set on the title. I'll be in the ring with 5 victims. Who will be the victims of the 3 most dangerous letters in wrestling? RK. Cut to the Firefly Funhouse. The sign is on the door. And you see Alexa, eyes closed, below the sign. Her eyes open, she's got the contacts in. She says something about ashes to ashes, and she's got what looks like ash in her hand. So, cremated old Bray there, as he was already a bit cremated. Says he was destroyed in fire, but in the future he will be reborn. Alexa is on her knees, and in a red circle with the star, kind of pentagram style, devil worship type thing with candles on each corner of the star, going hard on that devil worship kind of dark arts thing there. Yeah, okay, we know it's still going. There was a little promo for the Young Rock TV series. It's coming out on NBC this week. Interesting. Won't be available in the UK for a while, so I'll either stream that or watch it when it comes out, depending on the reviews. I can't see it being that exciting, but at the end of the day, it's a story that would be interesting. So, see how it's done. Next, we had Lana versus Shayna. Shayna's dominant in this one, giving Lana a good stretch here. Joint manipulation. Lana at one point slaps Shayna, and Shayna just laughs at her and continues to go to work. Lana goes for a roll-up at one point, and Shayna's like, nah. Lana does get a little bit of offense in, hits a top rope crossbody, shall we say. Words are all mumbly today. I don't know what's going on. I apologise. For 2, gets some kicks in. Nia goes after Naomi, but Naomi counters that. Shayna tries to go for Naomi as well. Gets rolled up, but for 2. Shayna hits a big knee. Kafina clutch for the submission victory. To be fair, Shayna should be this dominant. The only way Lana really wins is by distractions and people taking her too lightly, and Shayna was just not having any of it tonight. And later on Raw Talk, she again was not having any of it. She seemed fed up and just wants to kick ass. Braun's back on Raw. Glad he's feeling better. He had a blood infection, so I'm glad he's back on. He asked Pierce why he isn't in the chamber. Give me a good reason. Pierce is like, well, it's all former WWE champs. He said, well, I was Universal champ, don't you remember? Pierce is like, point taken, but that's not WWE champion. And says he's just a messenger. And Shane's name comes up a few times, and Braun says, well, tell Shane, since you're the messenger, he needs to make this right. I hope this is not where we're heading. Are we heading to Shane versus Braun at WrestleMania? That was my first instinct. I could be wrong. You could end up with Braun getting inserted into a chamber match on either brand by Sunday. But no, please don't. Please don't. I think we've reached the pinnacle of what Shane can do in the ring. We don't need to see it every other WrestleMania or whatever. Just don't need it. So we get on to the gauntlet time. Finally, some actual decent wrestling. So Styles will be starting off the gauntlet. He cuts a promo. Says, Kofi, are you kidding me? You got Kofi in there. Kofi Mania 2, it's almost like his destiny, but it isn't, because I'm going to destroy his hopes of being champion ever again. And that's not his fault. It's just because I'm here. And he's in the ring with me. Says he will win. Brings up Joseph Park, has rung the numbers. So apparently he's still doing his accounting. He's got several big guys with him now. But he says Joseph Park has punched the numbers and there's no chance he won't win. Kofi's out next. He's already limping as he walks down the ramp. Few back and forth early on. Kofi hits the trustful to the outside. Xavier's playing the Francesca. I think we're on Francesca 2 or 3. I can't remember. Let me know. But he's doing it on top of the announce table. Amos just grabs him by the throat, throws him over the barricade. And that causes the ref to eject Amos. He didn't get involved in the match in any way, shape or form, but alright. But as the ref is getting rid of Amos, Styles chopbox Kofi to go to break. Styles is back focusing on the leg, gets a single leg crab. Kofi tries a roll up, but Styles just, once he gets up, just kicks his legs out. Nice, hard, stiff leg kick. Kofi hits the SOS, but is unable to make the pin due to the leg pain. Kofi counters a superplex spot, but Styles goes straight back to the leg and hits the phenomenal forearm to get the win. And next up is the Scottish psychopath, Drew McIntyre, Big Daddy Drew out. Styles has shock face, and I'm like, well, you knew Kofi was going first. Did you not know the rest of the entrance? You knew it could only have been one of 4 men. Like, how shocked do you need to be that Drew McIntyre's in here? And it'd be better to have the champ come early and beat him early than go through the entire gauntlet and have Drew last. So, alright. Anyway, Drew throws Styles across the ring a few times. There's plenty of that. Plenty of overhead belly-to-belly suplexes. Hangs Styles on the ropes. 2 big brutes on the apron to break. Drew showing a lot of aggression here, taking his anger out on Styles. Styles does get a bit of offense in, runs through a kick, but Drew just runs straight through a kick. So Drew's going for like a clothesline into the corner, and Styles puts his foot up to stop Drew, and Drew just keeps running straight through it. Hits the Alabama Slam. Claymore is countered with 2 drop kicks, which takes Drew outside the ring. Phenomenal forearm to the outside. Another forearm sends Drew into the post for another break. Yep, this is a 3-segment match. Styles has Drew grounded, but Drew gets back into it. Throws AJ across the ring again. It's a neck breaker, kip up, goes to the top, but hits an insecurity from AJ. AJ looking for the clash, but gets backdropped for his trouble. Styles gets calf crusher. That's broken via Glasgow Kiss. AJ goes for the phenomenal forearm once again, but gets whipped headfirst into the middle rope. And Claymore, 1, 2, 3. Next up, yes, it's Jeff Hardy. Jeff gets an early offense in. Whisper in the win, a diving clothesline to the outside. Drew counters a drawbreaker, starts to throws again. Neck breaker again. Goes for the future shock, but that's countered into the in between the legs leg drop. Twist of fate countered into the future shock. Hardy gets up and falls out of the ring after the future shock. At one point, he just gets up and it just rolls out of the ring like through the ropes. They do a suplex on the floor, trading blows in the corner, a superplex by Drew, gets a 2 count. Hardy ducks the Claymore, twist of fate, swanton, but knees up, Claymore, 1, 2, 3. So I would have liked Hardy to be in this earlier and get a win before getting eliminated, as Hardy is probably the one with the least amount of momentum coming into this, as he hasn't been in a title feud at all since coming back. So yeah, that is just a little thing, but you know, he's not going to go over Drew. We knew this. Next up, I Hear Voices. It's Randall Keefe. Randall Keefe. Before it really gets going, Alexa takes over the dome. Her face on every single screen, laughing while the ref counts Orton out. Orton gets counted out. Orton goes to go back in the ring, heats a Claymore for his trouble. Fine. Yeah, we know it's still going. I suppose if they've done it now, are they going to do it again at the chamber? Or is he just going to get sucked out the chamber pod at some point and just disappear? I think that might be a shout, actually. You heard it here first. But yeah, Sheamus attacks Drew from behind. He's the last entrant in the gauntlet match. They're just brawling on the outside. Once they eventually get in the ring, Drew's a mess, and ref is asking Drew if he's okay to go. He says yes. Sheamus is in control here. Knees to the face, power slam to Drew. Drew hits the Glasgow Kiss and the future shock. Come back to the outside. Drew rams Sheamus into the post a couple times. Some more overhead throws. Spine buster. Looks for the Claymore, but bro kick. Sheamus wins and will enter the chamber last on Sunday. It was a good gauntlet. Gauntlets are usually good. So it was a good end to the show. But after the first 2 hours of crap that I had to sit through, I'd lost all excitement and hype that I had coming out of NXT Vengeance Day. But yeah, odds Sheamus says his odds on favourite to win, says Drew can't beat him, etc. And that was your Raw. I watched Raw Talk. There wasn't anything absolutely nuts on it this week. MVP's on crutches, saying he's tweaked his knee. Bobby's not talking. They talk about the 24/7 championship. Shayna and Nia Nia's just getting piss taken out of her royally here. But nothing too much. A lot more whole puns. And Sheamus cut a good promo to close it. He's vindicated that he beat Drew, said he would. Drew's success is because of him, gave him a place to live. He says week in, week out, he's been the MVP, bringing the best out of everybody that he's faced. He was going to face Drew one-on-one, but no, the powers to be that make it a chamber match. Why is that? Is it because he's not a draw? On Sunday, he'll show them all, walk out as champion, and then Drew can chase him, leading to a match at WrestleMania. Could that be what happens? It's possible. Am I wrong? So yeah, that was a nice way to close. A little bit of palate cleanser after actually watching Raw is to watch the after show to Raw. So Elimination Chamber on Sunday. What are we thinking? I will get my predictions out there by the end of the week. I'm a little surprised to not see a women's Elimination Chamber this year. I know we've got 2 men's ones, but just the way it's been as of late is the women get at least one big high-profile match, and at the moment, all that's booked for the show is Asuka versus Lacey Evans, who is pregnant. So that match isn't going to be happening. So what is? Like I said early on, I would have picked Rhea to win a women's Elimination Chamber match if there was one. Apparently there isn't. But who will challenge Asuka on Sunday? All right, this was the show. Thank you for listening and watching. I hope you have a good day. I will see you all soon. Like, share and subscribe, please. And see you later. Bye.